Hello and welcome. So I'm all turning on the live again in 11 October. So talking about the live updates, what's happening in the market and all that. So for those who have just tuned in, feel free to comment, like and share so that I will be able to answer some of your real estate inquiries. Hello, welcome. If you have any comments about your property, just feel free to type in the comments so that I will be able to share with you more about what you can plan to do, right? So in the market right now, I think the most recent one that happening today or the day yesterday, that the BTO submission right was actually quite low. You can see that the application rate was lower than usual. So that caused some people to ask like, hey, what's going on and all that. But the thing is that not many people realize is that there is a changes in terms of the policies, whereby if the first timer they do not choose the unit that they are giving a queue number, right, and they don't choose a unit, right, they will be considered a second timer in their next balloting exercise. So that caused many people, right, to kind of scared in a sense, and then they would want to only go for the BTO projects that they seriously want to consider. So imagine yourself, if let's say you are a young couple, you are going for a project that you're still unsure whether this is something that you want to go for or not. So less than 10 units, right, means that maybe if let's say one unit there is 4 units, right, and one level there's 4 units, right, that means to say, if let's say on the fourth floor there's still units available, if you don't take that unit, right, you will consider a second timer in your next balloting exercise. So what does that mean is that a lot of people, right, especially young couples, they become very careful in terms of choosing the BTO projects that they want to go for. So upcoming in the December launch, there's also some more exciting projects or interesting ones. So some of them they may be holding back and just wait for the project that they're very sure of, that they don't mind buying, even if it's a fourth floor unit. Then that is where that they will pull the trigger and go in and buy, right? Hello, thanks for the like, thanks for the share. So if you have any questions about real estate, just feel free to put it in the comments. So if there's anything that I can help you with, just let me know. Yeah. So talking about the real estate market updates, right now we are really moving into a season whereby the market is consolidating, is stabilizing. So you see that in many areas whereby a lot of owners, they have been receiving their keys, right, like big projects in terms of like Momentum Park, Avenue South, Affinity, Florence, Treasure at Tampines. All these projects has already hit the market and owners are receiving their keys, right. That will cause competitive in terms of the rental as well as the sales price in the resale market. So if you look at the whole of Singapore market right now, when many owners are collecting their keys, it also means that they are also letting go of their existing property as well. What do I mean by that is that, like for example, if let's say I am an owner which I have been renting for the past 3 years, then when I'm collecting my new keys in say project in Treasure at Tampines, right, then I do not need to rent in that place anymore. So this unit becomes available again in the rental market. If this is a unit that I rent just temporarily while I'm waiting for my keys coming up in treasures, right? Same thing. If let's say today I am a HDB owner, right? If I'm a HDB owner, I have the means to go and buy my treasure in Tampines first while waiting for it to be built up, right? When the keys collection timing is here, then I will need to sell away my existing property, because there's no point for me to own two properties, right? So that is the situation that's happening in the market right now. Whenever there is a large supply hitting the market, right, that will cause a more downward pressure in terms of the price, both in the resale segment, the sales, as well as the rental segment, because more units are competing for end users. End users are like homeowners, end users are like tenants themselves. So when more units hit the market, it will cause a downward pressure in both the selling price as well as the renting price. So if let's say today you are someone who is looking out as a first timer buyer yourself, you're looking something to buy, If let's say this is your very first purchase in the real estate market, right, then this year is a bumper crop year that I will say that this is something that you may really want to consider to enter into, because many owners out there, they will be very price sensitive to compete, right? Is Treasure Tampines rental going to be competitive? Yes. Okay, so if right now, right, checking out the rental market right now, if let's say I just key in Treasure Tampines, Tampines, I'm right now in front of my computer as well. You see the whole of Treasure Tampines, right, 328 listings for rent. Of course, there may be some duplicate here and there and whatnot, but you can see that if let's say I just look at just the one bedroom units, right, one bedroom units, I have 95 listings available, and the lowest price, right, there is being listed, right, is 2799 for one bedroom unit at 46463 square feet. Yes, it is quite crazy. I mean, it's what's happened when it's TOP. There's so many units flooding the market all at the same time. So as a tenant yourself, if let's say you know that you are definitely going to stay or going to be renting at Treasure and Tampines, right, what you can do is that you know you have bargaining power, then just go and visit all these different rental units, and then one by one test lah. One by one test, what do I mean by that is that, for example, now I see the website, right, the lowest price over here is at 2008 per month for the one bedder, right, 463 square feet. So you know that let me just do a count. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so far there is 11 listings all posting at 2008. Then the next tier will be 2850 already lah. So you see, there are 10 owners. Maybe there's some duplicate and on duplicate listing and all that but 10 owners, you go to them all at the same time. You say, okay, I'm gonna offer 26. Maybe you start low lah. For example, you approach all 10 of them. You say, I want to rent at 26. Then you see whether any one of them accept your offer of 26 or not. Then after you go around everyone, all these 10 owners, right, they all don't want to accept your 26, right, then you try 2650 again, right, slowly up again. I am very sure there will be one owner that will bite. That means to say, to take on your offer. Like, you just keep trying all 10 listings, all 10 or different agents that are listing it. Definitely there will be someone that will take on your offer, right? Of course, also depends on your tenant profile, also depends on your request, because now a lot of the photos that I'm seeing right now, right, is all totally vacant in the sense whereby the owners haven't even installed the lights, installed the curtains and everything. Now I'm looking at the two bedroom, right? Just based on the two bedroom, there is 127 listings in Treasure at Tampines. So 127 units is really a lot. I mean, nowadays property guru listing is also not cheap. So the property agents over there, they won't anyhow spend just to so-called advertise so-called not genuine listings. So I am sorting it in terms of the cheapest price for a two-bedroom rental in Treasure Tampines. I'm seeing that the cheapest listed right now is 3,003 per month, right, for a 582 square feet Treasure at Tampines. So 582, I think is a two bed plus study lah. Two bed plus study. Okay, I think this is a two bed plus study. So yeah, I'm looking at the listing right now. So 3003 is the lowest price two bedroom units over here in Treasure and Tampines right now. Let's find out how much they're selling at, right? Shall we? Okay, so if let's say I'm looking at Treasure at Tampines, right? Treasure at Tampines, cheapest one bedder right now. They are selling it at okay, let me see what is the listing price. 84 units of them is actually listing up. The cheapest listed over here is 740,000, right? That is the cheapest, right, that is being listed over here. And for the two bedder over at Treasure at Tampines, 183 units are being listed up for sale, right? And then the cheapest that I'm looking at right now is at 900,000, right? 900,000 is the listing price for the cheapest two-bedder at Treasure at Tampines. Of course, this is the smallest two-bedroom type lah. This one is the two-bed, one-bath unit. So end of the day, if let's say today you are a tenant yourself or you're a home buyer, I can say that now because of the bumper crop that's happening in the market right now is a good opportunity for you to go out there and look at something that you really want to compare around and look around, and this is something that you may want to really give it a go to try out whether you can get some good deals lah, in a sense, right? So that's what's happening in the market, right? There is really a lot of supply coming up right now. And I just went down to check out Momentum Park as well. So even Momentum Park, I'm looking at the for sale two-bedroom, right? 87 listings are being listed up online right now, and the lowest price they are looking at is 1.383, right, for a two-bedroom over at Momentum Park. Right, do they need to incur SSD? No, it's already over. So user ending with 6210. These owners, right, they are most of the time they are the first batch of owners who bought the units direct from developer. So now they are already reaching the TOP. That means to say the units are ready for keys collection, right? That's where they can put it up for sale. So the SSD, right, is calculated based on the point of purchase, right? So the point of purchase for like Treasure at Tampines, Momentum Park is way past the 3-year mark already, because the seller's stamp duty, right, is 3 years only, and the building progress is easily more than 3 years lah for all these mega projects. So it really depends on what is the timeline, or what is the time point that they buy this unit at lah, right? Let me see the one bedder for sale over at Momentum Park right now. Oh, not that many, to my surprise. There's only 46 listings, right? 46 listings over at Momentum Park for the one bedder. Cheapest, I think they're listing it at 1.1 mil. Not bad. I think the Momentum Park one bedder is still holding up pretty strong. All the agents, they are listing it over here at 1.1 mil for the one bedder at Momentum Park. Alright, let me see for rent, how much is the going rate right now over at Momentum Park, right? If let's say we are talking about just for rent alone, the number of listing is 1,010 leh. 1,010 1,010 unit for Momentum Park for rent, scary. I see just one based on the one bedder. Just based on the one bedder, there is 247 units for rent. So scary. So cheapest price, let me see how much is it listed at. For okay, this is a this is a one bedder. One bedder 3,002, cheapest listed right now over at Momentum Park. Right? Let me see the two bedder, how much is the cheapest right now. Two bedder, there is 387 new listings for the two bedder. And the cheapest, I think right now is listing it at 3,006. This is also a two-bed, one-bath. Right, which better for growth and own stay? Growth, if let's say today you are looking at something that it's still readily available, right? I think you have to look at the upcoming supply surrounding that particular project. Like for example, if you look at Treasure and Tampines, right, there is not much upcoming supply that's coming up in Tampines already. That means ready for own stay one. So if let's say you are okay to stomach this transition period, because all the projects or all the condos in Singapore, once it hits TOP, there will always be this 1 year period whereby people start to slowly absorb all these units up, either for their own stay or either for investment, right? So it will take a while for the so-called the units to be slowly absorbed, to be stabilized, and then the because all the different buyers, they have different exit timing, right? Some people, they buy, they are holding it for 3 years. Some people, they buy, they are planning to hold it for 5 years. So everybody have a different time horizon in mind. So the market will stabilize only after about 1 or 2 years thereabout. So if let's say you're talking about for purpose of growth, right? Maybe I would say that you can really look at the two bed two bath in Treasure at Tampines, or maybe even the two bed two bath over at Normanton Park. You can really need to shortlist all the units, because there's so many listings out there. You really need to find time to consolidate and find the correct unit type, because in this type of a new project that has been TOP, right, the unit type becomes very important, because you will want to buy something, right, that is easy to sell in the future as well. So some of these units, you have to understand what kind of facing they're at: low floor, high floor, facing the pool, facing the road, unit type, whether is it very ideal for the next person to stay in and whatnot. So in the unit selection, it becomes very, very careful. It becomes very, very important if let's say you want to go for something that is already TOP, right? So my job over here, right, as a real estate agent, right, is to become a go-to person, right, to prevent my clients to avoid them, prevent them from having the pain and the regrets in the real estate arena lah. For them, I don't want them to make dumb mistakes, so to speak, right? So usually how I do for my clients, right, I will always want to go through exercise with them lah, so to speak. I have this so-called a framework, or so-called a guide that I will go through with them. It's a comprehensive checklist whereby I would want them to go through with me to gain better clarity, so that they know their financial positioning in terms of buying the next property. At the same time, they will also know what is their next best option to go about after doing the property journey blueprint with me. I just call this thing property journey blueprint lah, right? So after that, then they will be more confident in terms of their decision moving forward. Hello, what am I talking about? I'm talking about real estate. So if you have any questions to ask about your real estate, please feel free to let me know. Yeah. Wow, pretty bad in terms of the haze and whatnot. Yeah. So I'm talking about the bumper crop that's happening in 2023, whereby we are seeing many units hitting the market all at the same time. All these mega project is happening in the coming live into the market, right? So a lot of units out there are giving good options for end users, like the tenants as well as the home buyers, to purchase, right? Let me see if I can pull out the chart over here. Let me take a look. Not too familiar in oh, you're a real estate agent as well, is it? Oh, new to real estate, I want to close my first deal. Okay, I think this one you really need to ask your manager lah, the person that you join under, because there are so many big agencies out there. They have different training and support system to guide the new bird lah, so to speak, new bird, to help them to speak to their first client, assist their first client. But always remember this thing lah, that it's the same advice that I always give to new real estate new real estate agent wannabe lah. I would say that always try to aim to serve to the best interest for the client, right? So there will be always a lot of temptations, like trying to close the deal fast, trying to cut corners and all that, but all this thing is not very helpful to you in the long term, right? Obviously, we will want to close deal. That's the property agent. We just want to make a commission out of it. But end of the day, you have to serve to the best interest of your client. So all these things, you need to gain a very strong understanding of the real estate market. So what I do daily, I do a lot of things like reading up all the newspaper every day, Business Times, Straits Times, even the Chinese papers, right, to keep myself very updated in terms of what's happening in the real estate market, as well as what's coming up in the new project launch that's coming up in terms of the different price point that's happening, how much the developer is bidding at, what land is going to be releasing this year, next year, what kind of project is going to be launching soon. All this you need to know almost at your fingertips, so that when you have that kind of knowledge, right, you talk to your clients or clients to be, right, you have that confidence and authority, right, to advise your clients accordingly. A lot of times, especially for new agents, I find that the thing is that if you're not able to guide your client properly, right, then your client don't have that kind of respect or that kind of trust for you, because they also sense that, hey, you seems like don't know your stuff, then no point working with you, right? I mean, this is just my sensing lah. Nowadays, information is very transparent. I have always shared this thing about the real estate scene, right, is that in the past, getting information is difficult, right? In the past, whereby information is not so transparent, the digital era is not so evolved, right? If you want to get information, you really have to ask agents or go through agents to ask the inside information to get around getting your deals, property deals done. But now with the websites, social media, it's so transparent that a lot of all these real estate agents are sharing the information online. I believe that now we are entering into an era whereby there is no shortage of information, but there is a shortage of attention. There is so many information, so many content, so many videos, so many things bombarding us every day, but how do we make sense of it, and can we make the best decision based on what we have listening to or reading up online? So I always believe that daily reading is very important as a new agent. If let's say today you are someone that has just joined the industry, I will really suggest that you do the daily discipline of reading up your newspaper properly, right? That is something that I would strongly encourage you to do, right? Become a person that is more competent in terms of your skill set. Then naturally the deal will come. Obviously you still need to do the things required, like prospecting, going out there, doing roadshow, doing your door knocking and whatnot. All this prospecting method, no choice. You have to go through that grind, so to speak. What was your first closing and how much do you earn? That was way back, because I started very young in a sense. I entered into the industry in November 2010. Obviously, at the point of time, still very young, right? So a lot of things newbie, so anyhow do in a sense, right? I still very much remember that my first deal, right, is room rental about $450, right? Very bad lah. So the thing is, when you are doing your first closing deal, you also feel, what's going on and all that. You also feel unsure of whether the whole process you do it properly or not. Yeah, hello Vivian. Yeah, 2010. So I started entering into the industry since November 2010. Then of course, over time I also progress. I do a lot of in the start, in the beginning, I do a lot of the west area projects, condos, HDB. Then slowly I progress. I do a lot of industrial property, commercial property, type B1, factory, warehouses. Then over time, I also built up my wealth, also built up my experiences. So I have now ventured into more focusing in helping people to either restructure their existing portfolio or go through the upgrading exercise. Because for myself, I have seen many people really transform their lives through buying the right kind of properties. Whereby I always share with people that if let's say today you buy the correct property, you sit on it 5 years, 7 years later, it's really a half a mil kind of difference that is very impactful to a normal kind of family's life. Because a lot of people, when they think that, okay, I just buy a home, I buy a HDB, I just work normally, live simply, that's enough. But I always share with people is that in Singapore context, right, if let's say you are just happy with keeping the HDB, there's no wrong also. But if let's say you are financially able to, I will always work out this checklist or this financial blueprint with my client. Those that are able to, right, I will always recommend that they would really want to go to the next tier of their real estate journey, right? So obviously, like for when we are young, in terms of our life stage, the first 0 to 20 years, we are in our educational and formative year, right? We're trying to learn, educate ourselves. Then 20 to 30 is more or less like you just enter the workforce, trying to save up and build your first pot of gold and all that. 30 to 40 is you are somewhat established in your career already, and that is where you really want to seriously look at your property portfolio to do a optimization. That means you want to make sure that you're buying into the right kind of property, you're sitting on the right property to go into, right? That's something that is very important that not many people know. Because in Singapore market, right, we are a market whereby in real estate context, right, the government is controlling a lot of the demand and supply. Look at it this way, you see the whole of the Singapore landscape, a lot of this land, right, is belonging to the Singapore government, right? They are holding up a lot of this land supply. So they are also monitoring the market to make sure that they do not overflood the market by releasing too many land. At the same time, they are also controlling those good lands to be released at the critical point of the time, right? Same thing, the demand side, they are also controlling. What do I mean by that is that today, right, a lot of the so-called new immigrants, new citizens, naturalized citizens, they are also being monitored and controlled by the government. So all these people, they're coming into Singapore. There are various reasons why they're coming into Singapore, because in terms of Singapore context, right, we are a very political neutral kind of country. That means if you see our prime minister, they, or our diplomats, they go overseas and all that, right, they do not want to really take sides. That means, like, if you know, obviously the most recent one, US China happening now, even the Israel and Palestine happening some war, right? So you can see that the Singapore government, they do not really take sides. They are trying to be as neutral as possible. So I'm not sure whether you still remember reading up in your history book and all that. We are like the Switzerland of Asia, right? So we are a country that is very neutral, and we do not want to get involved in a sense. So it also means that we are attracting a lot of wealthy and affluent individuals, right, to shift their base and shift their wealth into Singapore. If you realize, a lot of these so-called a nicer word, political refugee, they are coming into Singapore as well, because they are parking their money, right, into Singapore, and they're slowly buying up properties in Singapore as well. So that is the trend that we are seeing in the overall market for the past, especially the past few years, right? So this is something that the Singapore government cannot stop them, because we are an open economy. We are a very open economy, open country, right? So for those people that are coming in with their knowledge, skill set, wealth, we always welcome them to contribute to the country in a sense, right? So we cannot avoid that when there are more and more rich and affluent individuals coming into Singapore, right? That only means one thing to the real estate market, which is the prices will slowly go up, right? But of course, government is controlling the numbers that's coming in. They also cannot suddenly just open a floodgate, then so many people just come into Singapore, then the rest of the citizens or the rest of the population cannot keep up. Then that's something that is very challenging for them as well. So I think they're just doing some calibration, fine-tuning to make sure that the economy grow according to the fundamentals in terms of the indicators, everything go in line, right? And man, Ryu sign up, any advice? PM me, I will send you the sample test paper, right? PM me, I will send you the test modules and all that lah. Nowadays RES is very difficult to pass. The passing rate is very, very low. Obviously, if you have joined all the Telegram chat group, right, your coursemate and all that, they will share exam tips and all that. So just make sure that you pay attention to what the trainer is teaching you, and study lah. Of course, if you're going through a test and all that, make sure you study for it. I know it's gonna be very difficult. I've heard of people in graduates, they even cannot pass within the first attempt, so it's not going to be easy, right? The real estate industry is very fulfilling, right? Obviously very rewarding, but of course there are some challenges as well, because the market is always ever evolving, so you really need to keep up to make sure that you are able to not just survive but also thrive in this industry. A lot of these people who come into this industry, they realize that it's not as easy as it seems. Then the attrition rate is actually very high. That means the failure rate of this industry, right, is actually very high. A lot of new agents, they may be retrenched from their old job or old industry, or they may just feel that, hey, maybe my previous job don't have that kind of growth anymore, right? Then they just want to try and give it an attempt over at the real estate industry. Always remember that this industry is like a mini business in the sense whereby it is really all about how much exposure that you have for yourself, how much outreach you can have for yourself. Like myself, TikTok, 11 p.m. I'm doing TikTok live right now, talking to my potential audience, right, which is you guys lah, right? I'm also trying to stay relevant, right, trying to make sure that I venture out into different social media platform. Back then in 2010, I am catching the tail end of how the older generation do their real estate work, whereby they are, that era of they're still using Straits Times classifieds to advertise the property and all that. So I'm in that era whereby when Property Guru, right, is only few $100 subscription fee per year. That is very cheap. But now you see, for a Property Guru account, easily it's gonna be like a few thousands just for the starter package. Yes, MN, I started November 2010. So Property Guru price is increasing. Your social media cost is getting more and more expensive. Next year GST is also raising to 9%. So our cost of running our business is also getting higher and higher every year. I'm 35 this year. Yes. So not just Property Guru, that's the most basic one. Property Guru is the most starter thing that you must have lah. Because if let's say today a seller approach you, for example, Punggol HDB owner say, hey, I'm gonna engage you to sell the real estate. How are you going to advertise, or how are you going to get buyers for my unit? Then you say, I will put on social media, my own social media. Then if your own social media, you don't have so many friends, then how are you going to sell? Then next thing they will ask, hey, are you going to advertise it on Property Guru? Then you say, oh, I don't have Property Guru account. Wow. Then the owner also thought that you are, part-timer lah, not really the full-timer working in this industry. Because any seasoned player in this market, definitely they will have Property Guru account to advertise, to market, to do outreach. Yeah, please feel free to PM me, then I will share with you more tips lah, in terms of passing your exams and all that. So you have to give your best to make sure that you deliver results for your owner, right? So a lot of times, right, Property Guru, not just the basic account, you also need to spend more credits in terms of making sure that it's well exposed, right? So there are actually a lot of different routes, different channels, right, that you be able to earn money in this industry. Selling is just one of it. That means the owner engage you to go and sell their property. That's only one of it. You can also sell new projects, which is the developers project. They will appoint agencies. That is one of the way that you can use tap onto the agency resources, and then to do your own marketing outreach. A lot of these big boys in the market, right, they are throwing big advertisements dollars, right, to help people to sell their project easier, in a sense. So today, if let's say a newbie comes into the market, I most of the time I always share with them that the most critical thing, right, is you need to really know a strategy for yourself, how to really get started quickly and to have the most efficient and effective result. So that is something that I am more concerned about, because a lot of times when the new agents they come in, they try to do too many things at one time, then they will get lost. Like for example, some people tell them, oh, go and do landed property. Landed property, the quantum is bigger. Once you sell one, wow, you can get more commission. Then they go and try do landed. Then after a while they say, wow, so difficult, because the landed property is, the transaction volume is much lower. Okay, maybe I go and try HDB. Then they go and try HDB. Then after doing HDB for 1 or 2 months, they say, wow, also very difficult. Then another person suggests, hey, why not you go and try and do condo? Then you put your effort again to try and penetrate into the condo market. Then, the cycle just repeat and repeat. Then after merry-go-round, so many different property segments, and you find that, wow, I think this industry is very tough. I don't know what I'm doing. I cannot close the deal. Then naturally, these people will fall out. That is the sad cruelty of what's happening in the market. And a lot of times, a lot of these managers that you join is also very important, because sometimes they are focusing maybe only on a particular segment of real estate. Like they don't do anything, they just do HDB. Some real estate agents are like that. They don't do all types of properties, they just do a particular segment. So that comes that when you go and ask them, like for example, questions about condo, then they don't know how to help you. That's very scary. So for myself, as advice for real estate agents, please go and make sure that you check out more people, then talk to more people before you decide joining which agency, which team, and most importantly, which direct manager that you want the mentorship with. That is the most important thing lah, right? Alternating John, commercial property, is it as vibrant as residential? Cause all talk about house like, okay, commercial property, right, is that there are many sub segment. Commercial, when we talk about commercial, right, there is retail shops, there is hotel, there is offices, right? So there is a lot of multiple segment. And the thing is that for commercial properties, right, the trading volume, right, is not as high. That means to say the transactions volume is not as high as residential, because just put it this way, everybody need shelter, everybody need some place to stay. So tenants coming in, they definitely need to rent somewhere to stay. But for commercial properties like offices, shops, and all that, the volume, the transactions of buying and selling is definitely much lesser as compared to residential. So some people, they don't do commercial, or they don't know how to do commercial industrial at all. Like for me, because I started earlier tagging onto a team that is focusing on a lot of industrial commercial, so I learned some things about commercial industrial over there as well. Over the years, I have also attended different courses that teach commercial industrial shop houses and all that. So it is a market, a niche on its own. So there are some top agents that only focuses doing on shop houses. The whole year they just do hot shop houses, they don't do any other properties at all. So every day they just talk about selling helping people to buy or sell shop houses. So they are just super focused on doing one particular segment and nothing else, right? Amos, hi John, I want to ask, my girlfriend and I have a combined income around 60,000. What house can or should we get? Amos, if you're a first timer and if down payment is not an issue, you may want to explore getting an executive condominium, right? Because as right now, the way I see the real estate market, if let's say you are going towards wealth building, property accumulation, 16,000 just nice. You are able to qualify for the executive condominium. Right now in the market, there is still some balance stock for Altura, 3-bedder, 4-bedder. There is still units available. North Gaia at Yishun, there's also units available, right? But I would suggest you to, if you, let's say you can wait, you don't need the house immediately, please go and buy the EC as a first timer, because that is where that you will see the biggest capital upside that's happening when it is your turn to sell the house in the resale market. I've seen many people benefiting from buying an executive condominium. A lot of times they say that, wow, now it's already so expensive, are you sure that next time can make close to 500,000? And my answer to them is always the same thing. You see, BTO, why so many people go and flood or go and apply the BTO? that the government is stepping in to control the market or control this segment by introducing the standard plus prime, because in the past those more savvy one, right, they are aiming only at the central BTO. That is why the more well located BTO is always oversubscribed, because they know that that has the highest resale value in the future as well. So now the next best option is really going for EC, but the EC is that you make sure you need to have you have that down payment funds available lah. If not, you have to get PSG, parent support grant, the term that I coined. And man, my license right now is part with Huttons. The license that you have with which agency does not matter that much. I repeat again, different company, they have different culture, but end day you have to join a team that has different experts in different segments of the market, so that you know you can tap onto what kind of resources, right? So myself, I am in one of the big team in Huttons, whereby we have many leaders to support our new people in terms of training, in terms of activities for them to run their business and all that, right? um yeah, everyone, yes, correct. Some, I think just now I was mentioning everyone, he focuses also a lot on shop houses and all that. Actually, he does many things, not just shop houses and all that. EC launch in 2025, that is 15 months from now, right? You see the most recent newspaper article that came out, the record selling EC, another record land bidding for Tampines. So that one was won by Sin Lian. So that one likely is going to be launching in 2025, right? Per square feet likely going to be above 1,500 per square feet, if let's say you are aiming for that Tampines EC launch, right? Hopefully by then you have already gotten your license as a real estate agent. Then you probably can get some, hopefully, I'm not sure whether there will be agent priority or all that. So for agents, they're buying their own properties direct from developers, right? Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes they will be able to get either a priority queue, that means they can get to choose the units before the public does, or they can get some form of minor discount, not that a big attractive discount, but just some so-called agent discount, so to speak, right? PSG, yes, correct. Yeah, parent support grant, yes. Which division? This one, myself, I am with Andrew Boo Group under Panginium division, so is one of the biggest over there. Yes, I personally, I also don't like agents who are overly flashy. We understand that image, yes, plays a part in terms of the this industry, but end of the day is really what kind of value you can deliver to the client. That is more important. What kind of impact that you can have for their lives, that is more important. But do you think Queenstown flat will sell well 3 years later? Which particular Queenstown flat you're referring to? Yeah, so Tampines Queenstown flat, resale flat, most of the time they will have very strong demand coming in that area. So yeah, it depends on the age, it depends on the location that you are referring to, right? Resale HDB over there typically perform rather well. Yeah, 1,500, 1,600. I think 1,550 per square feet on the average. Maybe really some of the high floor units will touch 1,600 per square feet. High chance. Yeah, so this is what's going to be happening in that Tampines Sim Lian EC lah. Do you do non-occupied? Yes, I do. I am very young, so the thing is that when you're young, right, you don't have a lot of support coming in. Some people, they are blessed with very good connections, so to speak. So when they start, their uncle, auntie, relative, all that, oh, you do agent, okay, please go and help me sell my condo. Then they have deals to work on immediately ready. Or some people, they are maybe their cousin, elder cousin, right, or their father is already property agent. Then they just tag along. Then their so-called senior, right, just pass the deals for them to work on. So some people, they are blessed in the sense whereby they don't have to prospect. That means they don't have to start all over the scratch. for me, I'm not blessed in that manner, so I did door knocking. In fact, I still do door knocking every now and then. The reason I still do door knocking now, right, is because I want to get a feel of the market so that I know how to train my guys to say, hey, actually HDB nowadays you can do this, right? We are trying to think of different strategies to approach the owners as well, because owners nowadays, there are so many agents also knocking their doors. They also get irritated lah. They also will say, wow, today so many agents come knock my door again. Then we have to think of ways to so-called attract their attention, to talk to them and all that. Yeah. So like your stuff, thank you very much. Margaret, wow, very good. Margaret Drive, HDB, the area is very near to the MRT station, right? There's a lot of big transformation happening, right? The area used to be a bit not so how to say, not so interesting, because there's not much of amenities. But now you say you look at just Commonwealth MRT, Queenstown MRT, there's a lot of new injections of flats over there, like Sky Views, Sky Terrace, a lot of new HDBs over there. So they create like a mini new township kind of feeling, right? In the past, the area is a bit all the old flats happening lah. So now you see government inject a lot of new BTO, new flats. So whenever there is new flats, there is also meaning there is new amenities, because usually all these HDBs, right, they will have supermarket, food court, all these things. They will improve the overall livability in that area lah. So 3 years later, if you're, let's say you're talking about a 4-room flat, possibly you are one of the $1 million HDB that is going to be selling over there. So depends on your height. I mean, depends on the level of the unit that you bought. Depends on the entry price that you bought. The Margaret Drive, the area now also, because you are benefiting from the revamp of the classification, right? Plus, standard, prime, right? So your flat, right, is under the old scheme, meaning to say you are the beneficiary of the tail end of the old scheme lah, so to speak, right? So congratulations to you if you're holding on to this HDB over at Margaret Drive, right? 3 years later, the HDB flat is going to be attracting very good demand over there. Larry, my 4-room flat is close to Punggol MRT station. What is your projection? Near to Punggol MRT station is the older one, right? Because I understand that the Punggol MRT, the within 500-meter range one, not many new flats. It's all the 300 series, 200 series. So projection of value, now you see the whole of Punggol, right, is still under development. That means the government is still building up a lot of infrastructure over there. So like now, if I know the government is concentrating the effort towards the Punggol North. So you see there's a lot of BTO going to be collecting their flat. There's going to be a digital district happening over there. There's going to be another university over at Punggol North area. So the government is slowly concentrating the effort to build up the Punggol North area. So if your 4-room flat is close to Punggol MRT, Punggol MRT itself is always going to be the central point lah. So if let's say you are looking to sell next year, I think when the developments are up and all that, there is still a growth trend over there lah. So I don't think if let's say you are thinking about the value will drop or all that because of age, right, then I don't think so lah. You put it this way, because the whole of Punggol, right, is still not yet fully developed lah. So there is still a lot of ongoing construction happening over there. The whole of Punggol is very big. Even the Coney Island, I think there are also future plans that the government want to probably even develop waterfront housing over there in the future. So yeah, exciting times ahead of us. So Amos, EC location seems to be quite limited. What's the next best or solution beside EC? Of course, because ECs, right, the most centrally located EC is this one called 100 Palms, right? 100 Palms is in Hougang. By driving, it's only less than 20 minutes to CBD, right? So that's why a lot of people go and flood, go and buy 100 Palms. One day's sold out EC is the best performing EC in the whole of Singapore history, right? we have to understand that EC, right, the government is creating this, right, for the so-called sandwich class. So for yourself, if let's say it's always a balance, right, I will always talk about you want to enjoy first or you want to build money first. I always share with people in this kind of manner lah. If today you are okay to suffer, so-called suffer the short-term inconvenience by buying the EC, you will be able to enjoy a very good capital upside, because all the ECs in Singapore history, we have not seen any single one of them so-called losing money lah, right? Why we are so confident is because you are already purchasing the EC at a very discounted price. So obviously all these EC, they are not going to be at places like Queenstown, Tiong Bahru. So if let's say you really cannot accept staying in the EC location, right, then you will need to go for the BTO, right? BTO that is more centrally located, or you have to go and buy a resale HDB. But today, if you look at the resale HDB of all these centrally located location, right, it's also priced very high. So it becomes that it's a bit of a like you want to enjoy the convenience of the amenities now or not, right? For example, you go and buy a 800,000, 900,000 HDB resale in for example Redhill area, then yes, you are able to enjoy the amenities and all that, but you can't possibly expect there's going to be big upside that's going to be happening for the resale HDB, because the upside has been already enjoyed by the first owner already. Yes, correct. Combined income is 14K for BTO. You're right. So for yourself, you can't go for BTO. So the next best option, if you let's say you have a good down payment, then you may also want to explore new project. Maybe you want to start off two bedroom new project, buy a two bed one bath, or two bed two bath, right? If not, you can explore some of the sub-sale. Just now I was mentioning, maybe you want to explore buying in those recently collected keys one, right? Like Treasure at Tampines, right? Some of the two bedroom, I think two bed two bath going about 1.2 mil there about, right? The whole of Tampines, there's no much of a new projects coming up, so you can also consider this sub-sale segment, right? Whereby the owners just collected their keys and then you'll be the first one to stay in it. I think there is still upside for this kind of properties, and it really depends on your budget lah, depends on your financial positioning, how much you have that is available for down payment, right? So if no choice, then really you got to see how you can do something flexible about your income lah, if you know what I mean, right? Then you can go for I think BTO you can't because there's the 14K cap. So go for a small resale condo if you want. I mean, if you're affected by the budget issue lah, that's the thing, right? Thing, John, when does the developer pay BSD? Will there be a chance to okay, if you're talking about the 5-year deadline thingy, right? Okay, all developers, if they're buying GLS, government land sales, right, they will have to build, sell, complete the whole thing by the 5th year mark. So they are given a 5-year deadline to make sure that they clear away this project. Why the government introduced this policy, right, is because they don't want the developers to hoard the land. That means to say, in the past, some developers, they would buy up the land, then wait for good market timing, then they sell the project at a higher price. So that obviously they are for profit, right? They are trying to make business by developing land, right? So if they buy the land at a not so good time, then they sell the project at a very good time, obviously there will be very good profit upside for them, right? So now with this 5-year deadline, a lot of these developers, they would want to make sure that they price their units correctly so that they don't get themselves stuck in the situation whereby they can't sell out, right? Then they will have to clear stock. But if you look at some of the projects, like for example, Gazania, Lilium, towards the TOP stage, right, they still have some ground floor units that they can't sell. So they have some kind of a massive discount going on. But then even the massive discount, right, is still more expensive than the people who bought day one. So I always say, if you look at the new project, right, you have to see carefully how much the developer buy the project at, what is the break-even price, then how strong in terms of the holding power is this developer at lah. That means are they okay to pay the ABSD to do price protection for the buyers who buy in earlier, right? That is the situation for the new project scene, right? So if let's say today you are looking at the discount or so-called discounts that the developers is going to be giving out, right? Most of the time right now is happening mostly at the central projects. Central projects that's going to be happening. Because some of the central projects, they are also going to be reaching their 5-year deadline. Then let me see, there was an article that's floating around, but all these projects are very high price. The reason they are being affected is because these projects, right, they are relying a lot on the foreigners. So when government introduced the ABSD increase to 60%, right, then all these projects, they will have a hard time selling, right? Affected by ABSD deadline. Let me see. Okay, so this article is published by Snack Homes. So this is published in March. They list down 35 condos, right, that is nearing the ABSD deadline, right? So this is just an estimate. You can't use this as a confirmation to say that they are gonna pay ABSD lah, right? So 35 new launch condos that is near their ABSD deadline, right? So over here they have Amber Park, Gazania, Petit Devois, 35 Gilstead, Lilium, Royal Green. Anyway, Lilium and Gazania already clear out already fully sold. Juniper also fully sold. Riviera, Park Clementes, House of Handy. This list, some of the projects are really 100% fully sold. So let me see what's interesting. Pullman still have last 7 units. So maybe, I'm not sure maybe the developer may want to throw a last minute discount for the final 6 or 7 units. They are all the 1 bedroom plus study unit, if I'm not wrong, right? So 1.6 million over, right? So you can watch out for some of these final clearance sale. The developer just want to clear away the final few units. They may just clear throw price. Throw price meaning to say they just suddenly give 100k discount, that kind of thing, just to clear the units. So what else is there? Here at Holland, Atelier. Some of these already 100% sold. 15 Holland Hill, Delvey House, Cascadian Reserve, Landmark, New at Novena, Park Nova, right? Pullman service residence, crazy prices. Is it worth it to get service residence? Pullman, they're selling based on the brand. For people who are buying there, they are buying lifestyle. They are not buying because they want to sell and make money in the future. A lot of them, they're buying it for lifestyle, right? Landmark, okay, I'm seeing based on this article, right, they are saying that the what's that called? The opinion they put over here, right, it's November 2023. There could be some error lah, but over here it's stated over here as November 2023. But I think they still have quite a number of units, right? So it's just an estimate lah. ABSD is just an estimate based on the purchase date of the land plus 5.5 year, which includes the 6 months extension. You don't understand the hype on them. Every project there is always pros and cons, right? So for Landmark, the interesting point is that if you look at where it is standing, right, it is just behind of Chinatown MRT station, and somewhat walking distance to many important iconic areas in the area. So over there is going to be a very big plan coming up in terms of the healthcare, in terms of the medical, whereby Outram Park, you know, is going to be an interchange. The East West line, Purple line, as well as the Thomson East Coast line. So Outram Park is going to be a interchange. So interchange is going to be the next best thing lah, because now they are saying that by 2030, a lot of the 80% of the residential unit is going to be within 10 minutes walk to MRT station. So if everybody or close to everybody is so close to MRT, right, then the next best thing to compare to will be a interchange. So interchange, Outram Park is going to be an interchange, plus there is going to be a lot of expansion in terms of the medical hub or medical facilities that's happening over there. So that will create a lot of demand from the potential tenant pool that's coming over there. So yeah, they will tap on to this so-called transformation happening lah, right? So when was there even a hype? It will sell by itself slowly because the per square feet it's rather cheap lah, so to speak. If you compare it on the per square feet point of view, the landmark is quite attractive in that sense. I see the URA still have a lot of free land. Yes, the government is keeping a lot of prime land surrounding the land of Outram Park MRT. So the thing is that government is keeping a lot of prime land. If you see, like I always tell people, like if you see like Orchard, even the Orchard MRT, right, you see the actual location of Orchard MRT surrounding Orchard MRT, right, there's actually quite a lot of empty land along the Patterson Road, that area. You see the Orchard Boulevard, there's actually some land, right, that the government is still keeping. So all these are prime land, so to speak. They are waiting for so-called the right time before they release it, right? So even like further down south, right, we know that the Greater Southern Waterfront, there's going to be a lot of huge development going on and all that. So you see the further expansion of the whole of a CBD area, right? We know that the government is still very much focusing the effort to develop the whole area up lah, right? So all these will have a ripple effect in terms of helping the transactions to be healthy, helping the volume to go up and all that, right? So it takes time for the whole of Singapore to develop. It's not going to be a straightforward process like, okay, few years later, definitely it's going to be all built up. It takes time. Like the very first time that they announced the Jurong plan, right, was back in 2008. But now when you look at Jurong, right, if you go there and see, there's only the shopping malls right now, I think is more fully developed, right? J Cube is going to make way, and then Jayden is going to be coming up. The hospital is already over there. Then this is what's going to be happening, like second CBD Jurong is going to be doing a further expansion. Yeah, it's get Greater Southern Waterfront environment really developed. There won't be existing condo to get back. The coastline gets further and further away lah. I always joke with people. If you look at East Coast area, right? East Coast area used to be reclaimed land also, right? So last time the projects is fronting the sea. Then after the reclaimed land, right, the shoreline is being pushed further out, right? The sea view becomes no more sea view, becomes building view, right? So the Greater Southern Waterfront is going to be somewhat the effect lah. So the existing shipping port, all that is going to be shifting to Tuas Megaport, right? That's something that we know already in the confirmation already. So when all these shipping container activities all shift to the Tuas Megaport, then the whole piece of land, right, is going to be free up for I'm not sure lah. I heard even some people they're saying that there will be a third casino that's coming into this area. So yeah, we also don't know what's in the works, but definitely we know that the Greater Southern Waterfront will be I think is our next generation ready lah. It's not for us ready. The next generation will witness the growth. But you see how the Singapore government, they always want to plan forward to make sure that there is still some development ongoing and all that. So the government will always try to make sure that the development of Singapore is still in a healthy, sustainable manner lah. Exactly right. If buy condo in town, it depends on the exact location, project attributes and all that lah. Like for example, I always share with people like there is a checklist I always want to run through whether or not the resale property will perform well in the resale environment, right? Like for example, some projects they have these characteristics whereby even after 10 years, 15 years, they still be able to continue to attract very strong demand from tenants. So as long as the project, right, still has that appeal, right, to attract tenants, the tenants will form the fundamental of a very strong rental yield. So investors are always looking at numbers only, right? So you say that, hey, if let's say today I buy this condo at $1 million, if I can rent it out at 4,000, then obviously investors will start to look into this project as well. So slowly, steadily, more and more people come in to buy up the unit, right? Then they will push up the price as well. So the condo fundamentals must be there lah. At least they must be very appealing enough to attract tenants. Like just to give you example, if you look at the sale, if you know, if you know, is one of the older, somewhat older area in the Marina Bay area. If you look at the sale right now, right, the project is still very well received, right? There is still a lot of strong demand, right, from the CBD area going towards the sale. If you compare it to, like for example, Marina Bay residences, right? Marina Bay residences, like I'm just sharing my own opinion lah. Like if you go there and see, right, the overall design, it makes the project, some part of the unit look very dim, right? Maybe it's the choice of their color, the design and all that. So the first impression don't really feel that nice lah. Like for the sale, at least it's like a very tall structure, it's rather unblocked. So even if you're not facing the so-called the water view of Marina Bay, right? In terms of the outside facing, CBD facing, the view is still rather not bad for high floor unit. Real estate, not a lot making money, only some, only you're talking about agency, is it? Yeah, agency is always like this, right? Business, right? People who are making money is always the top 20%, right? Not everyone is cut out to do real estate sales in this market, right? Super near MBFC, whole 3 office block looking at their yes, correct. So the thing is that if you are someone that is that want convenience, that's why over there not many locals will want to rent there lah, right? Mostly it is the expats who are staying over there, they would like to rent there, right? People sometimes they're using their place, right, also for offices, for business meetings. It's very convenient. So if you have been there, you know the Marina Bay Link Mall, there is also supermarket over there. There is also places like Burger King, things like the amenities for livability lah, so to speak. They also try to make the place more lifestyle in a sense, whereby they have like the empty space where sometimes during the weekend I see people cycling around, bringing their kids to walk around the what's that called, along the barrage. So they're trying to make the place more not just office not so one dimensional. They also want to inject some green space, some walking path for people to look around and all that. So that's something that I find that at least the government not just making the whole place look like office. So they also try to create some cycling path, jogging path along the CBD area, so make the place more they always use this tagline lah, work live play, work live play. So it's not just a place only for work, but also for live, but also for play. So play one is very obvious lah, they plant the casino over there already, right? Also Gardens by the Bay, so near the CBD area, right? So that's something that I think the government has done right lah, right? Right, yeah, I guess those will take time to happen. Yes, there's this ongoing CBD rejuvenation plan. I think what's that scheme called? They call it the SCI, the incentive scheme, whereby they are encouraging the older owners, right, to tear down and rebuild, right? So like One Burnham is one of the first few, right, that take up the CBD rejuvenation incentive scheme. So government is also giving them a higher uh, gross prop ratio to build up more, right? So they're giving some of the incentive to these older building owners, right, to redevelop their landscape. So they don't want to make CBD so one-dimensional, only office. They try to make it something like at least the first to third floor is retail, then on the ground level, right, people can walk past and all that. So it's more lively in a sense. If not, if you go and look at Tanjong Pagar or Raffles Place during the weekend, is a bit like ghost town. No, not many people hang around over there. But now you see there's more things slowly being introduced in the area, so it will become more and more lively lah, hopefully, right? What about Coco Midtown projects? Probably don't buy for upside down. The per square feet looks so high. It's always like this lah. If you buy early, then you sit on it, you enjoy, right? The so-called first mover advantage. But if you say now is high, maybe 10 years later is even higher, right? So you see, like for example, boogies and all that, right? The government also planning to do some transformation effort over there. So if you look at the whole of the area, right? What's that area called? The road name is all the way from Jalan Sultan, Beach Road, Ophir Road, the area, right? They are trying to make the area that has the characteristics of the conservation shophouses. They're trying to retain that character of the area of the town, and then at the same time they want to make the area that is also open up for business meetings and all that. So if you're looking at Goko Midtown project, it is a developer that invests a lot, right, into this area. So I have actually looked into details in terms of the concept and all that, right? They're trying to create a synergy between their Goko Midtown, the offices, as well as the Midtown Bay. So obviously those people who bought in earlier at a lower price per square feet, then there is also good so-called good deals for them lah, right? I remember seeing articles saying that Marina Square maybe okay, that one, right, the residential units is very little only. It's like 120 residential units already. So in that one, you can take reference from the nearby City Hall MRT. There's one project, I can't remember what's the name. There's one project called Capital, yes, Capital Residences. So you can take Eden Residences over at Capital, right? You can take reference from the price point. So obviously the developer will market it to the super rich people lah. They won't be selling it like cheap prices, like attractive prices. High chance because if let's say they get the approval, right, this 120 residential units is going to be luxurious product lah, luxury product, that is for sure, right? Nico Highway, that stretch, yeah, South Beach. So the area will slowly develop to have that kind of character on its own as well. Is it true that after developer raise price harder to profit from capital appreciation? Depends on how you look at it. Okay, like for example, some projects over time, the developer really stage up the price to obviously they want to make profit lah. So once they clear, typically if let's say developers they operate in this manner, once they clear the first 20 to 30%, right, their bank loan is secured already, because developers also take loan from banks, right, to develop. They don't pay 100% cash to develop the land, that project, right? So they also need to secure 20% or 30% down, right, before they can confirm the bank loan financing. So once that milestone has reached, right, you will see that the developer will start to stage up price already. Some of the units will start to increase in price and all that. So it really depends on how early you are buying into that project. But it doesn't mean that when you buy at the later stage, you don't make money at all, right? It's like saying, like for example, if you're holding that property for 5 years, 5 years later, the first batch owner maybe make 400,000, but the later batch maybe make 200,000. So not say that there's no profit, but your profit is definitely lesser than the first batch of people who enter at the lower price, so to speak. Because real estate, right, is a very interesting segment whereby there is so many different factors in play. So it's very uh, tough, right, sometimes to give a yes no answer. So sometimes you look at things in multiple angles and analyze to see that, hey, whether is it makes sense to go ahead and buy that particular property at the point of time. Because even the same project, different people buy at a different timing. One can make money, one can lose money. So it's very interesting to look at how people buy and sell. It's all about human behavior lah, so to speak. Jem, hello. Best thing to buy with 1.5 million budget. I would like to define the word best lah. Best in terms of your needs or best in terms of investment, right? So when I sit down with my clients, I always go through a spreadsheet lah. If anyone is interested, just PM me. I will send a copy of it. If you are interested to listen to me live, also like my account, like and follow my account, so that next time when I go live, the TikTok will notify you of whenever I go live lah. Right, so today with a 1.5 mil budget, right, if you're looking at the newer projects, most of the time you'll be looking at maybe a 2 bed 2 bath kind of unit, right? So if you, let's say you are aiming for something for yourself to stay, I would suggest the parameter of brand new projects, those that just collected keys. Maybe you can explore some of these sub-sales that has already collected keys, like Treasure at Tampines, the in the 2 bed 2 bath units. If not, you can look at for example, Florence Residences is also going to be TOP soon. I think some of the owners already collecting keys, but let me check out for you. 2 bedroom units, how much are they selling at right now? Wow, Florence also many people listing about close to 469 units, people listing it up online. The 2 bedroom alone 264 units. Wow, crazy. Yeah, I think already collected keys. I see the people posting their photos already, right, with the actual units, right? Sub-sale wise doesn't mean that you buy sub-sale there is no capital upside, because like I mentioned, right, now with so many units all coming up into the market, right, the first batch owners, right, some of them, if let's say they are urgent to let go, right, they don't mind letting go at a lower price point. So that is where that you can go in and source for all these undervalued property. Because right now, if you look at the resale, I mean the new project market right now, right, the cheapest one probably I can think of is the Miss over at Cashew MRT area, Lake Garden 2001 over at Lakeside MRT area. So if you, let's say you are not really in the rush, you may want to consider this new project to buy in as the so-called first owners, right? But if let's say you are looking at something that is ready to move in, then I would really encourage you to look at all these sub-sale, these people who just collected their keys. You are still the first person to stay in that unit, right? Of course, I mentioned this thing before lah. Like the first batch of owners, when they buy, they also go in with some uncertainty of the risk, what's going to happen. They also go through the period whereby COVID, right? So all these things you have to pay them for their holding lah, right, because they hold the unit for you, right? So you pay them a premium. Thank you for holding the unit for me. Now it's ready to stay ready. Let me pay you slightly higher. Thank you for letting me to be the first person to stay in this unit, right? So sub-sale, it will stabilize a while, maybe 1 year for the whole unit or the whole project to absorb. Then subsequently you will see stabilization happen. Then the price appreciation will happen as per any other new projects in the resale market, as long as it fits the fundamentals, right? How much impact do you think is enclosed kitchen with open window will affect as it? Okay, so for this question, right, it really affect in terms of families who are especially in the area that has very high family profile, right? High family profile, like for example, schools area, right? People who are buying the property over there mainly for the school purpose. So especially now for the kids, right? A lot of the moms they would probably want to cook for their kids, right? Then if let's say it is an open kitchen concept, then there is no ventilation nearby, then obviously the appeal is not going to be there lah. So if it's at least a proper enclosed kitchen with open window, mostly at the yard area, or there is a open there is a window that you can open up to allow the smoke to get out of the house, right? Then there will be a premium for it lah, because all these family stay kind of profile, right? They will appreciate that their kitchen has open window for ventilation, right? But again, it depends on price. So for example, if let's say everything else is the same, the 3 bedroom without proper enclosed kitchen, no ventilation, maybe is 1.5 million, right? Then if let's say to get the enclosed kitchen with open window, it's 1.7 million. Then the buyer will also think, wow, do I want to pay 200,000 for this enclosed kitchen? But again, if let's say the price point is not too far off, like 1.5 versus 1.55, then of course people will want to go for the obvious choice. That means to have that open kitchen in that, open window in that kitchen, right? So the demand naturally people want to go for will be ideal for their family to stay. But again, it depends on the price, because if the gap is too far off, then the husband will usually persuade the wife lah, just suffer a bit lah, pay lesser because the price gap is really too far off, right? Will HDB price drop? Question is how and why it will drop. Right now, the situation is that the government is flooding the market with a lot of BTO units and a lot of choices for the first-timer buyers to buy HDB units. But the thing is that the resale demand, right, is continuing to be rather strong. Family formation is still happening. So the way I see is that for HDB resale price to drop, because you have to understand that HDB resale, right, is the most affordable segment of housing in Singapore already. So if HDB resale price drop, when I say drop, it's like more than 2% on a single month, then I would say that the economy is not that good already. That's not a very good news if let's say HDB resale market drop. I would say that we are now entering into a stabilizing phase. Stabilizing meaning to say maybe next month up 0.2%, right? Then the following month drop 0.1%. Drop 0.1% is not a drop lah, right? It's just stabilizing right? So we will have maybe a few months of like this kind of up 0 point something percent, then down 0 point something percent. This is a stabilizing phase. So if you see the most recent news article and all that, the HDB resale is still performing quite well. I think out of all the residential property market segment, right, HDB resale is the only segment that still grow. I think it was like 1.2% up, right? So it also depends on which segment you are going into lah, right? So are you a seller yourself, or are you looking to buy, right? If you need my help, you can always PM me, right? So the situation for the HDB housing market, it's gonna be tricky, right? You're a buyer, okay, then please quickly buy into something that you like and you have shortlist, right? So if you're a first-timer buyer, if you're a Singaporean, there's always CPF grants and all that to help you, right? Square face. Yeah, correct. Kallang 4 room already 1.3 mil. Wow, scary. These owners, they're all sitting on very huge profit, right? Very, very good. Thoughts on seaside residences. First batch of owners, happy for them. Back then, when seaside residences was launching, right, people are complaining, this one is 99 year lease. In the East Coast area, all freehold. This one sell 99 year lease. So first batch of owners who go and buy, congratulations to them. They are sitting on a very good profit for seaside residences. Some I remember I ever serve a client, right? I say, hey, why not consider seaside residences? Then he say, !aiya! Don't want this project also like not very appealing to me. And then in the area is all freehold. I want to look at freehold property in the East Coast area. But then you see the thing is that tenants themselves also like to chase new properties, right? So you see now the Siglap MRT is so near to the seaside residences, right? With all the plans approved already, now we can see that those people sitting on, I mean holding on to seaside residences is really happy for them lah, especially those who bought direct from developer at the first hand, right? Whether or not there will be more upside, I would say yes. Also because if you know, just the neighboring town further east further eastwards, the Bayshore MRT beside, right, there's going to be a huge plot of a forested area. Currently they're going to build another HDB site over there. So all this will impact the future price performance of seaside residences as well. We just need to think of it this way very simply lah. Whenever there is developments around the area, it means that there's going to be improvement. Whenever there's improvement, more demand will come in. When there is more demand, prices will slowly go upwards. That is how it works. So you don't want to go into area whereby totally no improvement work going on. That one then maybe not so exciting lah. Like some of the area, if you know where for the longest time, for the past 10-20 years, nothing happening in the area one, wow, then it's difficult, right? Have you heard of IRAS waiving off stamp duty if need to sell before 3 years due to stuff like financial difficulties? For private, not that I heard of. I have not heard of people getting their SSD waived off, because you have to understand that for private market, right, the government is allowing more free play, right, allowing more room for mistakes so to speak. So it's not so protected, unlike the HDB market. So HDB I mean, this is an open secret if you take HDB loan, right, if you are late in terms of your payment, right, HDB don't really chase you out of your house so to speak, right? So but if let's say you are staying in a private condo, then obviously the bank will repossess and do auction and all that So if you're talking about private condo waive off the 3 years SSD, I haven't really heard of it If you know, please let me know, then I can use it as a case study, right? What are your thoughts of renting out my HDB rooms? If you don't mind the privacy and all that, just go ahead for more cash flow. There are a lot of people doing that nowadays. It's very normal, right? Young couple, they stay in the master room, they got 2 spare common room, then they rent it out. Then obviously you may want to set some rules and boundaries for the new tenants to stay in, right? Then just get the extra money right? Maybe one room, depending on where is your HDB right? One room, maybe a few $100 to $1,000, rent it out. Then if you don't mind the privacy, that means some tenants, you choose them, they also choose you. So I also came across one single lady tenant, Malaysian Chinese. Then she say, I don't want this kind of landlord. Can you help me find the landlord, young one, most of the time also like me work, then don't kacau me, don't disturb me So you choose the tenant also choose you. So I always joke right? The thing is that HDB, if you don't mind the spare bedroom, if you're not using it at all, then just rent it out for extra pocket money then you can, now cost of living also getting higher and higher, right? So with all this additional cash flow per month, you can use it to pay off your utilities, for groceries and all that, right? Also if let's say if you are savvy in terms of saving up, right, then just slowly save up for your next upgrading process right? Acceptable rental yield, room rental, we don't really talk about rental yield so to speak because you're only renting out HDB rooms, right? Rental. So if let's say you are talking about where is your HDB estate again, right? If let's say some people they are more aggressive, some people they are more greedy, so to speak. They go and they as in the husband and wife stay in the common room, then they go and rent out their master room and another common room, right? Because the master room you can fetch higher rental. Wow, Canberra is a very nice place. Wow, got A&W, right? I went there to do some sell. I sold one brownstone unit recently over there also. So sometimes before and after the appointment, then I go to the Canberra Plaza, hang around a bit, go and eat the A&W. So your side one is 100 plus, your block 100 plus. I think yours should be the block 100 plus lah, very near to the MRT station, right? That area is a very nice new township kind of vibe lah, right? Everything is brand new, a lot of young families staying over there, right? A lot of ECs coming up over there as well. Those people who bought the earlier batches of EC, really happy for them lah. Like places like Brownstone, Visionaire. Now you take a look at these two projects, right? Also just turned MOP ready. I think just now there's one guy also asked me what is a good buy, right? Maybe you can also consider Brownstone, Visionaire, right? Because these two projects, right, like especially for Brownstone, it is really a walking distance to Canberra MRT, and it's just turned 5 MOP, and it's still like somewhat relatively new lah, so to speak. If you look at the whole of Singapore market, right, the whole of Singapore market, right, below 1.6 mil, a proper 3 bedroom, there are not many options anymore. So Brownstone is one of the condo that is still near to MRT, and at the same time is still affordable in the sense lah, right? So for people who are exploring to buying the next condo purchase, then you may also want to consider this area. But of course, this is considered towards the north already lah. So if you are okay with the location, another project is Park Life. That one is nearer towards the Sembawang MRT that side lah. So I have been helping another client of mine to look at possibly their next purchase, their next upgrade, right? So when we are doing our searching and shortlisting, right, these 3 projects came out lah, right? Visionaire, Brownstone, Park Life, and coincidentally, these are all the recently 5-year MOP kind of projects lah, right? Okay, so pretty much the TikTok also remind me to take a break. Great job, you gone live for 90 minutes. So anyone who is watching this video, if you need any help and whatnot, please feel free to PM me. Please like and follow my account so that next time when I go live, you'll be notified, right? As much as possible, I would want to go live every Tuesday night, if not on and off. Randomly at night I will just turn on live if I feel like it lah, right? Right, so today I ended work earlier, that says that I just want to come on live to talk about some of the updates and all that lah. So yep, pretty much I would also want to end the live earlier, right? So if there's no more other comments and all that, we'll say good night. Right, welcome, no problem, right? Feel free to drop me a message if you want to. I also put in what's that called, daily news inside my Telegram. I just key in the link inside my comment, so you can, if you want to follow the news, if you want to read the daily news and all that. Yeah, right, thank you, right, thank you for your comment, Vivian. Yes, I will drink more water. Okay, right, thank you very much. Cheers and good night, everyone.